What if I told you the hardest money you'll ever save isn't your first $100,000? It's your first $1,000. That small 4-digit number looks simple on paper, yet millions of people struggle for years to reach it. Not because they're lazy or bad with money, but because the beginning of the financial journey is brutally difficult. Once you cross that first milestone, everything changes. Your habits, your confidence, and even your opportunities. Today, we're breaking down why saving the first $1,000 feels almost impossible, and why the next $10,000 becomes dramatically easier. Part 1. You're fighting survival, not strategy. At the start, money isn't about optimization, it's about survival. Most of your income is already committed before you even get paid. Housing, food, transportation, utilities, and debt swallow nearly everything. There's no room for clever budgeting tricks when the basics barely fit. Saving $1,000 means denying immediate needs or comfort. Today for safety, tomorrow. Which feels risky when you're already stretched thin. Psychologically, your brain prioritizes survival over future planning. That's why advice like, just save 20% feels unrealistic. Early saving isn't a math problem, it's a pressure problem. You're not building wealth yet, you're trying to create breathing room. And until basic stability exists, every dollar saved feels like a sacrifice rather than progress. Part 2. Your income is usually at its lowest. For most people, the beginning of their financial life coincides with the lowest earning years. Entry-level jobs, part-time work, or unstable income make saving slow and inconsistent. Even highly skilled people start at the bottom of the pay ladder. When income is low, fixed costs consume a larger percentage of earnings, leaving almost nothing left. Saving $1,000 on a modest salary might require months of discipline, while someone earning more could save it in weeks. This isn't about effort, it's about capacity. As careers progress, raises, promotions, and experience increase earning power. Suddenly, the same lifestyle produces surplus cash without extreme sacrifice. That's why later savings grow faster. Early on, you're trying to fill a bucket with a teaspoon. Part 3. Emergencies. Hit before you're ready. Ironically, the people who most need an emergency fund are the least likely to have one. Without savings, every unexpected expense becomes a financial crisis. Car repairs, medical bills, broken appliances, or sudden travel needs. These setbacks repeatedly erase progress. You might save $300, then lose it all to an emergency, forcing you to start over. This cycle is exhausting and discouraging. It creates the illusion that saving doesn't work, when in reality, you just haven't built a protective buffer yet. Once you finally reach $1,000, small emergencies no longer derail you completely. Instead of going into debt, you absorb the shock and continue forward. That's when saving stops feeling like pushing a boulder uphill. Part 4. Debt competes for every dollar. Many people begin their financial journey already in debt. Student loans, credit cards, personal loans, or family obligations. Debt payments act like a tax on your future, reducing what you can save each month. Worse, high-interest debt grows while you're trying to catch up, making progress feel painfully slow. Emotionally, it can also feel pointless to save while owing money. But without even a small emergency fund, new debt becomes inevitable when life happens. Once debts shrink or disappear, cash flow improves dramatically. Money that once serviced interest can now build wealth. This is another reason the next $10,000 is easier. You're no longer digging while trying to climb. Part 5. You haven't built money habits yet. Saving isn't just about income, it's about behavior. Early on, most people lack systems. No budget, no automatic transfers, no clear financial priorities. Spending decisions are reactive rather than intentional. Building habits takes time and repetition. The first $1,000 forces you to learn skills like tracking expenses, delaying gratification, and planning ahead. These habits compound just like money does. Once they're in place, saving becomes almost automatic. You don't rely on motivation, you rely on structure. People who have already saved $1,000 often find the next milestones come faster because the process is no longer new. You've trained yourself to treat saving as normal, not optional. Part 6. Psychological resistance is strongest at the start. Human psychology makes beginnings hard. When progress is slow and results are invisible, motivation drops. Saving $50 or $100 feels insignificant compared to the effort required. Your brain craves quick rewards, not distant security. There's also fear. Fear of not having enough for immediate needs if you set money aside. But once you reach $1,000, the psychological shift is powerful. You see proof that you can do it. Confidence replaces doubt. Saving stops feeling like deprivation and starts feeling like control. This mental transformation is one of the biggest reasons the next $10,000 is easier. Momentum is real, financially and emotionally. Part 7. Small wins create financial momentum. The first $1,000 is less about the amount and more about what it represents: stability. It's the point where progress stops resetting to zero. With a cushion in place, you can plan longer-term goals instead of constantly reacting to problems. Momentum builds because each saved dollar stacks on top of previous success rather than replacing losses. Think of it like pushing a heavy wheel. The initial movement requires enormous effort, but once it starts rolling, maintaining motion takes far less energy. Financial momentum works the same way. The next $10,000 isn't 10 times harder. It's often dramatically easier because the foundation already exists. Part 8. Opportunities. Increase as stability improves. Having even a small financial cushion opens doors. You can take calculated risks, applying for better jobs, investing in skills, relocating for opportunities, or starting side income streams. Without savings, every decision is constrained by fear of financial disaster. Stability creates flexibility, and flexibility creates growth. Over time, these opportunities can increase income far more than cutting expenses ever could. That's when saving accelerates. You're no longer limited to squeezing pennies out of a tight budget, you're expanding the amount of money flowing in. This transition marks the shift from survival mode to growth mode. Saving your first $1,000 isn't hard because you're failing. It's hard because you're starting from zero. You're facing low income, unexpected expenses, debt, and uncertainty all at once. But once you build that first safety cushion, everything begins to change. Progress gets faster, stress gets lower, and real wealth building can finally start. If you're still on that first step, don't quit. It's the hardest part of the journey. If this motivated you, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share for more.